All right, Brian, thank you. Also tonight, a shocking new Harvard-Harris poll finds most of the 18 to 24-year-olds believe that Israel should be, quote, ended, not kidding you, and turned over to Hamas. This is perhaps, I guess, not surprising, Tommy, because the youths go to the colleges where they teach this.
Right.
But you would expect the educated people at the New York Times to understand what's happening here as we now discuss. But I saw this headline that caught our eye. Look at this. This headline: campus crackdowns have chilling effect on pro-Palestinian speech.
Yeah.
The byline underneath that: universities are under tremendous pressure to stamp out anti-Semitism, but some say that it's causing fear and curbing free expression. Am I missing something here?
Yeah, we're missing a lot. And this is the tuition that these brats want us to pay for, by the way. But let's think about this. I'm so glad these universities are now in support of free speech, because I know when I go to speak on a college campus, that my mere presence is labeled hate speech. And they say that I shouldn't be there. There's protests that even if a conservative shows up on campus to speak, but now they're worried about the chilling effect on pro-Palestinian speech. A lot of it's not just pro-Palestinian speech, but obviously anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, pro-Hamas. So you've got the New York Times trying to do all these mental gymnastics to make this seem like it's okay. Clear what side they're on. But I think as you see these admissions or these applications drop, I think these elite universities need to be terrified of the culture they've created. And people are going to, I guess, decide with where they want to go to school. And I hope that they do. Take matters into your own hands. Don't go to these schools.
Yeah, look, so we're like 70 days removed from the war in Israel and Gaza. But yet we are still, including Bill Maher, having to explain why what the Harvard president couldn't come to terms with, accepting that the river to the sea is a call for genocide of the Israeli people. Here's Bill Maher explaining it.
The Palestinian people should know your leaders and the useful idiots on college campuses who are their allies are not doing you any favors by keeping alive the river to the sea myth. Here's the river, here's the sea. Oh, I see. It means you get all of it. Not just the West Bank, which was basically the original UN partition deal you rejected because you wanted all of it and always have. And so you attacked and lost, and attacked again and lost, and attacked again and lost. If I give you the benefit of the doubt and say your plan for a completely Jewless Palestine isn't that all the Jews should die, what is the only other option?
Katie, can you help us out here?
Well, all of these students who responded to this poll saying Israel should be handed to Hamas qualify for my Summer in Gaza program. They can sign up at getthrownoffofarooftop.com. I'll pay for the ticket. You're free to go there and spend some time. This is clearly being indoctrinated into these younger people through TikTok and also through this toxic DEI critical race theory agenda that we're seeing at college campuses all over the country, where they think that Jews are at the top of the oppressive
diversity, equity, and inclusion, unless you're Jewish.
Right,
That's
right. They put the Jews at the top of the oppressive nature of things, think that they're white because they're successful in some way, and therefore they're allowed to be persecuted in all of these ways. These kids, young adults, don't understand the history of Israel. They see these claims that Palestinians get stopped at checkpoints. Well, Palestinians living in the West Bank going to work in Israel, which is a sovereign country, not Israeli Arabs who have equal rights to Jews and Christians in the sovereign country, do have to go through checkpoints. And the reason for that is because they used to wear suicide vests and go into cafes and nightclubs in Tel Aviv and blow up young people who were the same ages as these kids who were responding to this poll, and the same age of the kids who were slaughtered by Hamas on October 7th at this music festival. So this is a deep-seated problem at universities across the country, because it's part of this hierarchy of oppression with the DEI curriculum that they believe in and that they're teaching on campus.
We're almost out of time. I only got like 20 seconds.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you gave a lot of time for me. I'll make it fast. Look, we look at these universities and think, oh, this is organic. It's not organic.
Right.
This is selective speech choreographed individuals of a single mindset. So when you see kids saying 60% believe Hamas is justified by doing what they did to Israel, that, by the way, 60%, that's more than higher than American Muslims, which are at 57%. So we're teaching these kids how to hate, and we're doing it deliberately in these universities. That is what needs to be arrested and looked at very carefully. And the historical and the religious bigotry and misunderstanding and ignorance is deep. And that's why we need monuments and people to represent true diversity of religious belief and ideological differences on those campuses.
Real quickly, I just want to say, Israel is the only country in the Middle East for thousands of miles where women have equal rights, where Muslims, Christians, and Jews have equal rights with each other. You're not going to find that anywhere else within 1,000 miles of Israel.
And this is the only place you'll find the sign up for Summer in Gaza with Katie Pavlich. Great program.
It's going to be a fun time.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.